The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the Panther. That dude Biz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying around the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot to death, oh yes, these are the sports podcasts live as a pro's corpse. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the boys ever. No longer got any use for them four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season if people starting five. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat spit. I got what you need.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Ed Molina. Yeah, I had to name the show after that because it was just thinking. I don't know what the fuck we going in on this week, but because we got the homie on, but you know, normally I don't introduce people other than myself. It's me, the mayor, that DJ named Ace5, your mom's favorite fat guy. The definition of democracy manifests. Now get your hand off my penis. And we back with the newest episode.
Wow.
As always, hit that box next to the man's head that loves the box. Hooksrub.com. 20% off your order.
There's no pause for that one.
Using the code STAR5. What up? I'm pointing the wrong way because I'm not mirrored right. Not you yet, Tyrone.
Well, you can let the victim, you can let the guest go first.
Go right ahead.
Wow.
I'm just here minding my own business, washing dishes, all of a sudden I hear my name called out, like I did something wrong. It's like, if you've ever watched The Wire, I feel like McNulty right now. It's like, fuck did I do? I'm just catching strays here. I'm just, chilling. How you doing? It's good to meet you, by the way. Like you said, you wanted to I come here with positive, friendly energy. Good to see you. Good to meet you. How you doing, Tyra?
I don't talk, man. Because the champion you wasn't in.
That's why you motherfucker.
You wasn't in.
That's why you
was over there doing your little Twitter fingers, typing little shit in, right? And I wasn't even gonna be mad. I was like,
come to the door.
He can come in every week, but it's like you already see me getting ganged up on, man. I thought maybe I could get some support in the comments, and I looked down, man, and you was on the wrong team.
I'm saying but what I'm saying, champions don't complain. I'm saying champions don't complain. They take the Timberlands down on the floor like it happens. It's you're gonna make that superhero comeback. You got that belt for a reason. At some point, someday in your lifetime, you will get that come up. That come up. That's why you're holding the belt. I got you.
I'm just saying.
I got grace too. I get it. Patience is a virtue. You'll get that come up in someday. I get it.
I'm just saying, man. You was in the comments a whole lot, and I feel like you want to come for the team. You got to show your face. You got to be in the building. I went to Connecticut. I went all the way to Rhode Island for the UWO podcast to be in the building to defend my championship. So I appreciate you in the comments, but I just wanted you up in here. I had to put a face to it.
I understand, you wanted to see if it was just Twitter fingers or no, I get it. Listen, I come with the same energy. I come with love. You know what I'm saying? I come with nothing but peace, kumbaya, or whatever, whatever the wokeism is nowadays. Like, I'm all love,
That's good.
Spread love is spread love is the Brooklyn way. Even when you're carrying a grudge belt that you picked out of
Right.
somewhere.
This is shit talking championship of the world.
What is that logo, by the way? Jesus, it's hurting my eyes.
That's his logo. That's his logo.
Oh, is it? I apologize. Oh no, it looks great, man. Look, I apologize. I'm here with positive energy. I'm here with positive energy. I didn't realize. No, listen, it's. I come here with positive energy. I don't come here on a soapbox or stand on business. It's a great logo. No, I dig it. The colors are fly.
You're right. After you just said, "Damn it, it's hurting my eyes."
Yeah, it's all right.
But hi, TJ. I know nobody let you get yours in yet.
What's up, man? I'm just out. I'm glad to be outside, man. Yesterday was horrible. It rained for like 12 straight hours yesterday. That shit was ridiculous. I've never seen it rain like that in a long time. But I'm happy to be outside. Had a good day of ball today, even though it was rough the first few games. But I'm feeling good. Feeling ready to loosen up the joints and get this tussle on. Melissa, Ed, I might have to come off the top rope today and show my real skills. You know what I'm saying? Show how technical I really am. You know what I'm saying? Nice with it. Nice with it. Single leg takedown, horses, all that shit. Press you over the head, launch you like a paper plane across the ring. Just nice, bro. Just nice.
Hey, when you be balling, right? Is you like CP3? Or who you like when you be balling on Sunday?
I'm more of a power forward, bro.
Power forward.
Power forward. Yeah. Yo, I'm 5'9", 220. I'm 5'9", 220, dogs. I'm in the paint. All right. So I'm not beating anybody off the dribble.
Half power. It's a half power forward.
Yeah.
What kind of power forward are you? Are you like Dennis Rodman kind of get the ball?
I got a wide base. I'm low to the ground. Nobody's moving me off the block, bro. You're not getting a rebound over me unless you're 6'2".
He calls you a decaf power forward.
I just want to know how my man is on the court. That's all I was saying. I thought he was going to try to be one of them husky point guards.
Nah. No. What's your man's name from Toronto?
Oh man,
dude on the what's the name?
He just got signed.
What do you mean?
Dude was on the Grizzlies.
I'm not a Kyle Lowry.
Light-skinned dude.
I'm no Kyle Lowry, bro. I'm no Kyle Lowry.
Nah. I was thinking of the jacked fucking light-skinned dude on the he used to be on the Grizzlies. I forgot his name.
Kyle Lowry just came to Philly.
Did he?
He went home.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Sixers now. Maybe they'll do something if
he's coming off the bench, right? He's not starting, right?
No, not yet, but he probably should be.
I don't know. He's a little cooked.
No?
I don't know, maybe not all the way cooked. He's a little cooked. Not all the way cooked, but he's at that point of his career.
Tender. He's definitely tender on the edges. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, he's at that load management point of his career. Like
he's seasoned for sure.
Like he helps you off the bench for sure. Like, don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
That's a guy, but like starter minutes, let's pump the brakes here a little.
He brought
who's
the Sixers
starting point guard?
He brought the Sixers a championship player.
Who's the Sixers starting point guard?
Maxey?
I was about to ask him.
Maxey's playing too.
Is he?
See, y'all don't even know.
I don't know that.
No, I'm asking. I don't know. I don't watch the Sixers like that.
Okay, so y'all don't even know. So y'all don't even know who's the starting point guard for the Sixers. And y'all already saying Lowry shouldn't start.
I'm just going based on what I saw.
Kyle Lowry should start over the guy that y'all don't even fucking know. Does that make sense?
Well, it's all. It doesn't work that easily, especially when you haven't been within said system all year till now. and you're really only there for 20-something games for the rest of the regular season, they're making the playoffs. I'm just not counting that just yet. So at least, all right, my bad. So he'll be there for 20-plus games after All-Star break and the first round of the playoffs.
Sixers could win the whole thing.
They
If
could
Embiid
every
comes
year.
back, absolutely. If Embiid comes back, absolutely, they got a shot. Absolutely. I'm not. If Embiid doesn't come back, same thing with this national team, with this Olympic national team. If Embiid doesn't play, I don't really like this U.S. team. He's however you feel about him, the trash talking, or however you feel about Sixers, he's that good. He's legit. He's MVP level, and of course, you want him healthy for the playoffs. And if they're in the playoffs, they absolutely, at worst, Eastern Conference Finals, at worst, But if I don't know what this team looks like in those long stretches without Embiid, he's that much of a difference.
Well,
Joel's my favorite player in the
I
league
just looked
next
it
to
up.
LeBron James.
Lowry's starting right now. He's starting right now for the Sixers. They're down 2 against the Mavs. Kyle Lowry, he's starting. You guys really don't have a point guard. Milton,
Payne can't play.
Shake Milton. They got Shake Milton now, right?
And Payne.
No, the Knicks just signed him.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, they don't have a point guard, so Kyle Lowry is the best option to start at point guard for the Sixers.
You know what? You're right, actually.
Yeah, they don't have.
You're right.
If you heard TJ, he said they're playing now and he started. So
because he should be.
It is what it is. But I always find it funny that y'all keep saying y'all to Tyrone, forgetting he's a Lakers fan. He's just from Philly.
That's right. He is a Lakers fan.
That's right.
I don't know if they make the playoffs. They make the playoffs, bro.
What?
Oh, yo, speaking of your area, shout out to my brother.
They're a playing team.
Yo, shout out to my brother JP, since we're talking about his Sixers right now, because he hit me up after last week's show, Tyrone, and was just like, yo, whose man's is this to say that James Worthy wasn't shit? and he was, JP is the old head basketball historian that could rattle off stats from the 80s like this. And he was rattling off so much shit about James Worthy. And I was in the car. I was just like, yo, I know. But my man Tyrone is a good dude. So don't go too hard right now. He wasn't going crazy. He was just like, to say that James Worthy wasn't shit is crazy, yo.
I watched a whole lot of the Showtime Lakers, and I'm not saying the man wasn't shit. I'm just saying that he benefited from having Kareem and Magic, and that he would not have been able to lead no team. He wasn't a superstar like everybody keeps saying. It was James Worthy. They said the Lakers was a fucking dream team, super team, whatever. And I'm like, no, it was Magic and Kareem for real. James Worthy was benefiting from having Magic Johnson as his point guard. I don't see him as a guy that could carry a team. I don't see him as a guy that could be a superstar.
That's like saying the Chicago Bulls benefited from having Michael Jordan. That doesn't make any sense, man.
No. So the Chicago Bulls had Michael Jordan, right? And they had Scottie Pippen, right? Scottie Pippen's his great cigar, right? But did you ever think Scottie Pippen could be the best player on a championship team?
Yes.
James Worthy could not.
Yeah.
James Worthy, to me, could never be the best player on a championship team.
Wasn't Kareem at the tail end of his career when Magic and Worthy were there? And what I mean by that is that at one point, Kareem broke down and Magic had to play center, if I'm not mistaken, in the NBA Finals.
Correct.
That's how. So, isn't it more that Kareem at that point of his career benefited as more from Magic?
No, it's not
Worthy?
Kareem. I'm not talking Kareem. He's saying James Worthy.
No, but what I'm saying, though, like, he's bigging up Kareem, but it's like, nah, that's a broken down Kareem.
Right.
Like, he should flip-flop Worthy, because I feel like Kareem benefited more because he's blessed that Magic could play center at that point. That was unheard of at the time. And you know,
that sky hook was still sky hooking, my man.
sure,
Like,
absolutely,
he was
absolutely.
career, but he was still doing good. But what I'm saying is, you had Magic running point, right? And you had Magic running point, which Magic can take any point guard off the dribble, can do amazing things at point, right? And then you had Kareem in the middle, so you couldn't really. So your bigs couldn't help neither. Your bigs couldn't help because you can't leave Kareem in the one-on-one in the middle, no matter how where he was at in his career, right? Then you had Byron Scott, who you couldn't come off of because Byron Scott was a deadly shooter. He was a spot-up shooter for the three, so you couldn't come off him, right? And you had Magic running the show, which Magic was going to find everybody. So where was the odd man out? It was James Worthy at the small forward.
What I'm saying,
no
one
I'm
could
saying,
get no help on Worthy. Worthy was playing one-on-one every time because nobody can help him because
one-on-one. Who do you think was benefiting from those Showtime fast breaks? That was Worthy benefiting when from dishing it out. No, but he's Pippen in this equation. Is what I'm saying. It wasn't Kareem finishing because Kareem couldn't run the break like that anymore. At that point of his career, he couldn't run the break like that anymore. He was at load management point of his career at that point.
That's my points have been moving and shifting every point being made.
No, it's not.
Because like
listen, he was benefiting from that.
But the way you say that he was benefiting off of, it's like you using it as that slur of jobber.
Like how's that?
You're using it. That's you're supposed to benefit off of quote unquote a superstar name. It's your teammate. You're supposed to benefit off each other.
No,
You're talking about superstar name.
I'm talking about stat wise. I'm talking about everything.
Right,
I don't see James Worthy in another system being the James Worthy that y'all think he is.
I see.
He was a monster in college.
And I see what
you're talking about. That was a different system.
There's a lot of monsters in college that go to the pros and don't do shit, bro.
But he wasn't one of them. And you're talking about a what if.
And the
he wasn't one of them.
Right. And the problem is this same sentiment, and I'm gonna repeat some of the same shit I've been saying for the past few weeks. Team game. You're supposed to benefit off each other. If this is a one-on-one game, totally different argument. But it's a team game. You're supposed to benefit off each other. So where a person like James Worthy, who again was better than Jordan in college, he was the man when he was in UNC. But if he went to another team, he would have had to do more to be the bigger household name for you to discuss. But instead, when you are like a fucking 1A caliber player and you're playing with another laundry list of 1As and 1Bs, you just get in, you fit in when you get in where you fit in, and you fall into your place and help the team win. That I don't understand how that concept doesn't.
But I don't understand how y'all concept don't. How y'all don't get my concept.
We get the point is we get your concept.
Okay.
But it doesn't make sense. We're getting it, but it's opinion wise, it's wrong to us.
It's like Jalen Brunson when he was in Dallas, right? He benefited with playing with Luka Doncic, but you couldn't really see what Jalen Brunson could do until Doncic got off the floor, and eventually Brunson had his own team to run. He would never be able to put up the numbers he's putting up now.
Exactly.
Playing aside Doncic. So you can't tell me that James Worthy couldn't put out that type of production playing as the man. He honestly earned that. He earned that, but he didn't have to go anywhere because he was playing with one of the best point guards of all time. Why are you leaving that system? It's eating cake.
What I'm simply saying is that while y'all saying that y'all believe that James Worthy in another system could have been the man, could have been this great basketball player, I'm saying that I don't believe that he would have been that guy in another system. I'm saying that a lot of his attributes, a lot of his points, a lot of the things that we saw him do was because of the system he was playing in, and that if he went to another team, that he wouldn't have been that he would not be the main guy on another team for a championship.
And we're saying we disagree with you because if
That's
he
fine.
was on another team, he would be the system. You know, like
And they
James
would not
Harden
win
said,
shit.
I
And they
would
would
be the
not be.
system.
And they would not be the champs.
Who was the most fucking dominant in that era? Oh, my bad. Your favorite team.
No, Boston won more championships than the Lakers.
I know that, but they were dominant
But
as hell in that
those
time.
two teams.
Exactly.
It was those two
And
teams
you're
killing
taking
it
dominance.
year after
You're
year.
taking. I said you're taking dominance as I'm saying championship. They were consistently in them finals. That means they dominated the West.
I'm not necessarily talking about era. I'm talking about in general. I'm talking about during any time. I never believed that if you had a man, if you had somebody, I don't believe that James Worthy was talented enough to be the main guy, the best player on a championship team in any era at any time ever.
Man, if James Worthy was a fucking Knick and that era in that time with Bernard King
They be killing.
And then a young Patrick Ewing.
Bernard King and Patrick Ewing would be the two stars of the team. James Worthy would not be.
But it's not. This is where I'm talking about. I'm sorry, Ed. I know you wouldn't get a point of, but this is where I'm talking about where you keep moving the goalposts on this. It's not about the star.
I didn't move it. That's all I'm talking about.
You keep saying star. You keep saying star.
That's all I'm talking about.
Right.
James Worthy is not a superstar. Period. Not that.
Go ahead, Ed.
I'm just stunned, stupefied that you're gonna tarnish a legacy over a what if. Like you're basically saying, I don't like this guy because what if you put him in a different system? He's garbage. And it's like, how about focusing on what is? But that's how it comes off. That's how it comes off.
No, you put words in my mouth. Did you hear me say garbage? I never said he would be garbage. I said he would not be able to be he's not a superstar. I didn't say
I apologize. I apologize.
I'm saying
still, my
point you said James Worthy was a bum.
That was
my point is
didn't do shit.
My point is that you're trashing a player over a what if concept, as opposed to focusing on like, this is what he did and this is the reality and this is the chips and this is how he helped get those chips. Even the sabermetric dudes are like, I don't know. I failed algebra, so I'm not a math guy, but like, I'm sure the sabermetrics will show how important Worthy was to Showtime. Yeah. Again, somebody had to finish those fast breaks. That wasn't.
Yo, you're not getting it. Worthy was important to Showtime. Y'all keep talking about what he did on that team. That's cool. That's fine. But y'all basing it on what out there on what it's do. Y'all saying, okay, we're basing it on what we've seen him do with this team. But y'all don't know either. Y'all situation is what it's too. Because y'all saying if he went to the Knicks, they would win a championship. That's what if. If he went to another team, he would be the star of that team. Jamal just put up that Worthy average 22 and 5 with 53% shooting. 22 and 5 with 53% shooting in the playoffs. If you're the man, will not win a championship, dog. Not at all.
I don't know.
But he did that with Magic Johnson. He wasn't by himself. He was 22 and 5 with Magic. Exactly. If he was by himself, of course he would average more.
No,
of course he would average more.
No, that's a what if, dog. You don't know
that. That is not a what if.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
You're wilding. You're wilding.
I'm just going based on what he did, and that dude was a problem.
What he did with Magic.
That's all I know.
But
yes.
I'm saying that he was,
and you say that as a slur, like
right,
no,
like that.
How?
With Tyrone. This is what again. His whole career was with the Lakers. That's what makes the statement like that sound unfair. You play with who's on your team, regardless of.
It's not like you have free agency either.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the person is the household name, superstar name. You should be if they were who they were, like Magic Johnson, you should be happy that you're with a guy like that. But you're putting it as but because of Magic and this was Magic and that was Magic, it wasn't all Magic. It's a team game.
Here's what I'm saying for the last time.
Yeah, for the last time, because I don't know why I even brought this back up.
Everybody talks to me about James Worthy like he was superstar. And I'm saying James Worthy was not superstar status to me. James Worthy was
Bro.
a good player
Okay.
because of his system. If he went to another team, playing the same way he played in LA, he would be maybe the second or third option
and
not the star.
One last question now to let it go. Okay, he's not a superstar. Fair. Won't dispute that, what you're saying. Is he at least an NBA 75 or is he a legit NBA 75 or does he belong on that list?
I believe he belongs on that list. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, that's fair. So, I just wanted to see where you put him at what range.
So Ty, here's a little nugget for you. James Worthy played in 4 Game 7s in his career, and he averaged 27 and 8 on 60% shooting. With the money on the table, this man was better than 50%. He made 2 out of his 3 shots every time.
Dude,
and then compare those numbers to
27 and 8 in the game 7.
Open. They played no defense on Worthy because they couldn't because of the.
So you're saying the Celtics and the Pistons didn't play. Just hear yourself out. You're saying the Celtics and the Pistons didn't play defense in 1980s and 90s. That they did not play defense on this man. Is what you're saying.
Who covered James Worthy?
Probably Mahorn. What, he's a power forward or the small forward? So
yeah, but here's the thing. I'm not saying they didn't play defense. What I'm saying is, if you got Magic and Magic beats your point guard, you got to help on Magic. You can't leave Kareem down the low by himself. You can't leave Byron Scott open, which means that everybody kind of had to almost attempt to play one-on-ones, and James Worthy was good enough to beat a one-on-one. He wasn't getting double teamed. He didn't have to bang in the box. James Worthy just basically had to get to his spot, wait for Magic, or get them run outs on all them pop fast breaks he was talking about. He had an easy life to get those numbers, dog.
I got my hand up in class for a question.
Bro, you don't rank 6 in all-time Lakers team scoring and had an easy life. That shit is not ranked 6 in all-time Lakers team. All time. All time, bro. All time.
The ball in your spot. You can get points. What are you talking about?
I got my hand up because
you ain't ranking 6 in a team.
Yes, you are. They didn't have a lot of point scoring players on that Lakers team.
What you described was a point guard's job.
Yes. So
right. The only difference is the superstar name attached to it. A point guard is supposed to do that, to where a big is supposed to be the one to help pull attention away. And my bad, if you are a person who's a scorer that happens to be open, all we really just described is, yeah, James Worthy benefited off of his point guard. It doesn't matter, and I say that because it doesn't matter if it's fucking Magic, it doesn't matter if it's Isaiah, it doesn't matter if it's the fucking third point guard on the bench. The point guard did his fucking job, and he did his job. So it could have happened with any point guard. It just happened to be Magic Johnson. That's the only point I'm trying to make is it could be this way with any point guard. It just happened to be with Magic, and you're using Magic's name to diminish the man doing his fucking job.
There was any point guard couldn't do what Magic was doing, brother. Like that's outrageous. That's an outrageous statement to act like Magic was just any point guard. That's outrageous.
But to act like, again, outrageous. No, stop for a second. Outrageous is also acting like James Worthy wasn't shit because of Magic. If he didn't have Magic, he wouldn't be. That's why it's a fucking team game. That's why it's a team game, no matter who's on the team.
No. Outrageous is that the Celtics and the Pistons of the 1980s and 90s played no defense, apparently.
That true.
They played defense.
Out of all the defense, James Worthy had it the easiest.
Oh, man.
He had it easier than anybody else on that team in order to be able to score.
Byron Scott had it easier because he was standing in the corner according to you.
Byron Scott wasn't a scorer.
You said
you know who had it easy? You know who had it easy?
Byron Scott wasn't trying to get points.
You know who had it easy? Kurt Rambis. He was putting up numbers. Kurt Rambis because of everybody in there. Kurt Rambis.
Kurt Rambis is the prime example too.
He was
Kurt
eating off
Rambis is a prime
everybody.
example too of what I'm talking about. Kurt Rambis is not that good of a basketball player.
Yeah,
He
but
looked good on
Kurt
the Lakers,
Rambis,
he had some good
fair.
seasons because of who he was playing with.
Yeah, but Kurt
And I
Rambis
believe
isn't
the
an
same about
NBA
James
75er though. Kurt Rambis will never be an NBA
Like
75er, even if you killed the NBA 5 right now. Like he still
Yeah.
wouldn't be
Jamal-
NBA 75er.
Like Jamal said here, in the elbow and forearm and body slam era of the NBA, James shined against Hall of Famers in the
And-
playoffs. And then he
and-
asks, do the Lakers get those chips during the worthy years without him? Lakers
Yes.
fan?
I think so. Because they got 2 without
You're
him.
bugging.
Well, they got
They
Kurt
got 2
Rambis,
without
so,
him.
you know.
They won 2 championships without James Worthy on that team. Oh, Magic got 5 rings.
Bro,
Magic got 5 rings.
he would only
Oh.
had 2 if James Worthy didn't show up. He would only had 2 if James Worthy didn't show up.
Okay, player.
I'm
Okay.
just
Yo,
stunned.
wow.
I'm just stunned that the Celtics and Pistons didn't play defense.
They played defense.
Now, they didn't play defense against him. They didn't
No,
play
he just
defense.
had it easier.
Oh man.
Y'all just talking about, y'all only talking about NBA finals. Like you gotta understand the whole season before that. You gotta understand that they beat the Western Conference before that. Y'all just talking about 2 teams being able to play defense on James Worthy. 2. And y'all talking about at the height of the highest level y'all can get in the NBA. So get out. So
And
come
you
on,
got to
man.
understand that we understand all of that.
Okay then.
We're still
So
just
what-
making fun of your logic right now. And your
My logic is that if James Worthy was on a team that wasn't the Lakers, where he had to be the primary guy to win the championship, he's not good enough to do that. And y'all can say, what if? Y'all can say that my thing is what if, but y'all theory is what if too, because if y'all saying he is good enough to do that, then y'all saying what if too.
no,
So
we
I
are.
don't-
We are. We're with this
Okay.
whole conversation.
27 and 8
This
27
whole
and 8.
conversation.
in the Game 7 finals.
With Magic and Kareem, can he
Yeah.
do 27 and 8 by himself
We're
on
talking in
another
circles.
team
We're
where
talking
he had
in
to be the
circles.
guy? No, I don't think so.
It probably his scoring average probably would have been higher because he would have had to do more. We get it. All we've been saying is your logic is fucked up. You think that we're backwards. It is what it is. I didn't even mean to bring this back up because I was supposed to be trying to but saying rest in peace to 2 people we lost in the wrestling world, even though we're not doing a wrestling show today. But we lost Ole Anderson. And then the shocking one was Virgil. Virgil
Yeah, he was
finally
young,
went.
right?
Youngish.
He was only like 62 or something like that. He was young.
That's
Youngish.
young in my textbook.
Yeah, that's young, bro.
Yeah, no, yeah.
He had a bad stroke and he just never.
Did they say
fully,
what he
like-
died of?
Well, he had a stroke and he never fully recovered from that. And then he had got cancer like right after that too. So
Oh.
he had a lot going on.
Yeah. That man was struggling for a long time.
Wow, I didn't know that.
For a real long time.
He would when like I go to like these conventions during WrestleMania week whenever I travel to WrestleMania, and he would post up a booth and do what everyone else is doing, which is take money for autographs and photos. The thing is that you got to get permission from the organizers, and he wasn't doing that. He was just posting up, rolling up to conventions, posting up without asking the convention organizers, hey, because you got to give them a cut, and he would do that all the time, just conventions, comic book conventions. He did it in the subway. He would do it in New York City subways, just put up a booth and take money for photos. On the Hollywood Walk of Fame, it was kind of funny, but also sad at the same time. He kind of became that caricature from, if you've ever seen the movie The Wrestler, he kind of became that guy to a degree. But,
yeah. Really sad. Rest in peace to both of them. But TJ, hopefully is rest in peace to Trump and his political career. But I said before pre-show, I doubt it.
Well, I mean, if he doesn't pay this lady, they said by like the end of next week for the defamation case, he's in a world of trouble, and that's 83 million. And then the judge denied his bond on the 400 he wanted to leave 100 million on his $454 million loss to so he could appeal this case, and the judge denied him that. So he's in the hole. I think he's averaging 120,000 or something ridiculous like that a day in interest. So it's just steamrolling and steamrolling up. Those sneakers he got is not going to be enough to cover that bill. No matter, I don't know if I think he's trying to scam the RNC into paying for it, but that's illegal. So I don't know where he's going to get it. And he was supposed to have this big media rights thing with his Truth Social and everything. He ended up screwing those dudes, and they're suing him now because if it cashes in the way they thought it would, he would have made like $6 billion, which would have covered his fees for all these court cases. And now that's up in the air. So the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. You can't run for president with no money. There's no such thing as a broke presidential campaign. And if he ain't got the money to do it.
Well, then it sounds like to what you're saying is he would have to also steal off of campaign funds, which is also illegal, to try to cover some of this shit. And these idiots who support this man, they'll find a way to make up whatever money, even if they don't eat for the week. And I'm talking like, the poorest the poor who just get reminded that, well, at least we ain't black, that want this man back in office.
Yeah.
We'll find ways to find pennies for him.
In order for him to successfully challenge the case, he has to come up with the whole thing. He has to come with all $454 and put it on bond. If you don't have that, there's no appeal. There is no appeal. There's not even a threat of an appeal. That's why he was trying to give up $100 million this year to satisfy it. And they were like, nah, you need to come up with the whole boat. You a billionaire. So where's your money at? If you got money, now's the time to spend it, my guy. And he doesn't want to sell off his properties, which are probably going to take a hit when he tries to sell them off. They're like, nah, we're not giving you that for this now.
Oh,
you're
yeah,
gonna pay our price.
Take a hit.
He screwed so many people. Yeah, he screwed so many people that he's never going to get that type of money up to successfully defend that. And if he doesn't do it, then the New York State General Attorney General can start exercising the him not having business in New York State and start taking his properties away from him.
Well, that happened in that last court case that he can no longer have a business. He can no longer do business in New York right now.
Right, but he was trying to appeal that, and he can't. Right. He can't appeal it.
Trump going broke still does not prevent that man from doing anything he's going to do. He's definitely going to get that money up for that court case, without a doubt, without a problem, because he has so much support, so many investors. He has
$500 million.
Yeah, because he has a lot of
$500 million, man.
If that man can get back into the office of President of the United States, it'll be worth every penny of that for anybody who gives that man money. It'll be worth every fucking cent to them, to these people who want this man in office. There's no way Trump is going to lose this presidential campaign because there's too many supporters and too many people who want this man back in office. And because it's in November, dude, the campaign is the case. So Trump's going to beat
If that was the case, then he would have had the money up to defend this now, because
he's trying
not to generate any additional income.
Because
he can't generate any additional income in New York.
Because it's not at jeopardy yet. Nobody's in panic mode. Panic mode makes you look bad. So nobody's in panic mode.
Yes, he is in jeopardy. He has to come up with $83 million by the end of the week. He has to come up with $83 million by the end of the week. He's not coming up with that.
And Donald Trump has to play it cool. Panic mode makes people think you're weak. So if you say, hey, I got to do this, and everybody thinks you're weak, and then bang, I got the money, the fuck's up. You know what I mean? That's the whole game. The whole game is I'm not gonna never look weak. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna talk shit. I'm gonna look like fuck y'all because that's what he's been doing his whole life. And then when the chips fall and he got the money, he's gonna come back up.
I don't see his supporters. I don't see his supporters ponying up $500 million. They draw the line at some point.
It's not gonna be that much.
Broke is broke.
Donald can probably liquid. Donald can probably liquid 300 million right now if he wanted to.
It ain't enough. It's not enough.
I think he's gonna stall and kick the can somehow. Like I think I agree with Tyrone to the degree that I think he's gonna stall somehow. I don't know, declare bankruptcy, whatever. Like he's done this before, where he's like try to evade. You know, didn't 50 Cent do that? To, like declare bankruptcy to avoid paying a debt that he had for the young lady, the tape that he put out or something like that. Anyway, but
yeah.
Folks at that level find ways to stall. I'm not saying that he's not going to pay out, but he's just trying to, much like with the court system, he's trying to wait everything out till November and roll the dice and on the election, hoping that once he's in office, he can magically make it go away.
He tried that. He tried that the first campaign, and literally everything got pushed back 4 years. He tried all that. Like Ed said, Trump been broke. It's all a grift. He never had the money he bragged about. That's the source of all his fraud.
Yeah. He's got to have some money because he's got properties. So he's got to have some money in that sense. I don't know what liquid or whatever.
But remember, he's overvalued his properties. So they're not the money he said he has.
And I hate defending Trump, but like, don't all these real estate people always overflate their value in order to look like X, Y, and Z? You know what I mean? So he's not.
Yes.
He's doing what every other.
But not by 30.
New York.
Not by $30 million, Ed. Not by $30 million.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure there are other people overvaluing it.
But I'm just saying this.
I'm just saying his grift is no different than the grift of others. His is just more blatant and so bold-faced,
okay.
disrespectful.
But here's the craziness that I think. Okay, we've been hearing about Trump with his fraud and his bullshit and everything bad about this man since the 80s, right? We've known about it. He's been defrauding. He's been broke. He's been bullshit this. He don't have this money that. All of these things we talking about Trump, we've been hearing since the 80s, and yet that man still became president of the United States. So for me, as far as Trump is concerned, until he stopped, he can't be stopped. That's how I see it, because they've been trying to stop this man.
He's never owed anybody $500 million.
And until I see him stop, he can't be stopped, bro.
Well, the problem is he, like I said earlier, he's got a base of people by the balls. Just reminding them, well, at least you ain't them over there. And then he's got some of them over there on his side too. That's why I said last week, don't ever go full Tim Scott, because you get full coonery all day, every day with people that support him. And it's just like man, you know what? I'm gonna refrain from what I'm saying, because I want to say something that's just so disrespectful, but it makes sense. But it's gonna sidebar disrespect the whole community and say, don't you dare tie people with these ailments to with this guy, who I seen on a Instagram account the other day. He was at a rally, and the people who talk about Sleepy Joe this, Sleepy Joe that, Trump has been mumbling, stumbling, rumbling, bumbling his words at all of these freaking rallies and shit that he's been doing. But his supporters don't fucking care, because they see a stupid ideology that ties with their bigotry and hatred for other people, that they're voting for this man, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I hate hearing that, but they're voting for this man, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's why Tyrone makes it sound crazier when he's like, he can't be stopped. Like, I know the brother ain't gonna support him, but in some respects, that feels like a hard truth, because he's still been doing what he's what he wants to do. All the cases before, it didn't stop him from becoming president. We, like I was saying pre-show, TJ, we hope that in some sort of way, owing all of this money puts him in the hole, but it's not putting him in a bad light amongst the American people that want his dumb ass in.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, that's what I'm really at.
It's wild with the double standard, because if it's anybody else, nobody be putting up with that bullshit. But because it's him, he's allowed to get away with it. And it's like the logic doesn't make sense. Because even if it was somebody else in the Republican Party trying to get away with the shit he was doing, they would have shot that dude down months, weeks, years ago. But because it's him, it's like a special case. I just don't understand the logic, because none of his voters will let nobody else do that to them on any level. On any level. But because it's Trump.
My bad. My bad. Hold on, Tyrone, because I want to get to Jamal's comment too. But like, yeah, they're not, if this was anybody else, they would have been done. But this goes back to something that I was saying in his first campaign. They want a guy like this because they know that he don't know shit. And he is a moldable puppet that they can get their way with, because he's not afraid to use the pen and the executive order play. He's not afraid to use it. And they know that they can get what they want under a joker like this, as long as you kiss his ass and smell the bottom of his feet. And they're all doing it, with the exception of some. They're all doing it. But like Jamal says, he has complexion protection, so that can't be underestimated. If Obama owed a $62 light bill from 78 while he was in office, the right wing would have banged the drum on that shit every day. Go ahead, Tyrone. You're on mute.
My point is this: we looking at politics, and we looking at politicians, right? And for people who follow politics and people who follow politicians, then yeah, they'd be like, yo, like Donald Trump was fucked up. But what do we forget about is that Donald Trump is also a celebrity. And that's the problem. People ain't looking at Donald Trump as a politician. They looking at the celebrity of Donald Trump. Donald Trump was on TV shows. Donald Trump hosted all of those Miss Americas. Donald Trump was on wrestling. Donald Trump had his own television show that gave a lot of people a lot of opportunities and stuff like that. You know what I mean? With the Apprentice show. Then he did the Celebrity Apprentice show. And Donald Trump became a celebrity. And he took that same act over to his presidential reign. Like the way he talked on his Celebrity Apprentice show, the way he talked in his life, that's the same thing he talked and the same way he acted during his presidency. So it's a lot of celebrity and that's a lot of the part of the reason why people were supporting this man too. So
it's true, but they're viewing him as a politician now. His celebrity got him there, Ed, and you can have it. His celebrity got him there, but they look at him as a politician.
I'm not saying there isn't a path to victory for Trump. Of course, there's a path to victory, but I don't think he's as unstoppable as people say he is, just on the basis that, again, he lost. Like, that's a fact. He lost to Biden, as a matter of fact. And so there's already a track record of him losing. I think one of the illusions of Trump that he sells well, that he probably got from pro wrestling, is selling himself as quote unquote winner when he's taken L after L after L. Because even in the midterm election, some of the candidates that he's been endorsing, they've been taking L's too. So I'm not saying that there isn't a path to victory or that he doesn't have his base. It's that, he's also, it's like Conor McGregor. Like, he's still living off his hype. You know what I mean? Like, people, of course, yeah, Conor's going to get all those pay-per-view sales, but Conor hasn't won a fight in like 4 years. He got housed by Khabib. He broke his leg against Dustin Poirier. Before that, he got knocked out. And that's kind of where Trump is at right now. It's kind of, he's taken a few body blows, like, to the ego and to the campaign and now to the wallet. And so the thing is that Trump has this cockroach survival instinct. You know what I mean? Like he seems to just, you know how they say that when the world ends and the nukes come, that only the roaches will be left. It'll be the roaches and Trump. You know what I mean? Like he just has this cockroach luck, and that goes to Tyrone's point of like the illusion of a winner. He carries, it's all kayfabe with him of carrying himself. Look at how many sneakers I sold instead of how many electeds I haven't gotten. You know what I mean? And so, you know, not you know, to his point, like, you know, he carries a belt. Trump carries a belt all the time, much like Tyrone. And so, you know, much like the WBA, WBC, there's a lot of belts out there that make you feel better, like despite
alphabet
belts.
He's
Yeah.
right. I know all about illusions of a winner.
That's a fact.
I never knew.
Oh my God. That would be a great name. That would be a great name for a punk band, Illusions of a Winner. I really would.
That makes
Tyrone.
for anything, a movie, a book. Just
It's Tyrone Ball, never lost. Never lost.
ever,
But
ever,
we do hope that this fucking fool loses though, because it's I mean, it's you know, but
so.
again, our people, the American people, the same people that we kind of share airspace and land with, we're stupid. And what did they say as far as Gump? Stupid is as stupid does.
Yo, it's funny you should say that, Dan, because my mom was like, I was speaking to her about this the other day. She's like, she can't believe that there's so many people backing this type of nonsense. Like, she can't comprehend it. And I mean, she's like, she can't believe that many people in this country are still on that bullshit. Like,
It's
heavy.
because they want their
like,
wall.
yeah.
They still want their wall built.
It's also they like living the kayfabe. They like the kayfabe of the illusion of what Trump is. Again, it goes to Tyrone's point of like delusions of a winner, of like, you know, they feel that's what a New Yorker carries it like. And to a certain degree, he is a Queens guy in that sense, in that braggadocious. He's that side of Queens. He's Ozone Park. You know what I mean? Like he's Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. He's, you know, Throgs Neck. He's Staten Island, you know, so and I think
Staten Island.
you know, he taps that nerve to what people outside of New York think a New Yorker carry, and he does carry it like a New Yorker in that sense of.
But isn't this the country showing their true colors about how they feel about people in this country besides themselves?
Yes,
this is like a big thing.
Yes.
What you say, Dan?
If you want to snitch, listen. If you want to snitch on yourself, please, by all means. Like, I know now who not to hang out with, or who I want to talk to, or like approach cautiously at worst. Like, all right, tread lightly. You know, just I'm not. You know,
this is really showing their true colors. They're like, and it's sad. It's sad that we're in 2024 and there's a large majority of the people that still think like that. That's crazy.
It's like wearing a belt and telling people avoid me. You know. It's kind of like that.
It's kind of like saying,
challenge me. Sorry.
It's kind of like saying the Pistons didn't play defense against James Worthy.
Hold on. Hey, you want to come on here and you want to get mouthy right now?
I'm not getting mouthy. I have my
disclaimer. Soon as you came on here, you had to do a disclaimer like, I'm here because I was called out.
I come here and I
was watching my dishes and somebody called me. And then you get spicy because you got help.
You know, I come here in peace.
I mean, Tyrone, you did call for it. You did call for him.
I come here in peace. I didn't say anything.
He had a disclaimer.
Negative. I didn't say no. There's no disclaimers. I didn't say no asterisk. I didn't put nothing. I said what I said. But I come in peace. Is all. You know. Like,
here's my thing though. Have any of you
his
guys?
Name and he appears.
Have any of you got to the point where it's like you don't even give a fuck? Like to the point where your mindset is whoever's president, whatever rules, whatever.
I give a fuck. Absolutely give a fuck.
I'm just gonna work my job, keep my head down, follow the rules, and get through my life.
That doesn't work though, Tyrone. that doesn't work because you minding your business, they're gonna come for you too. And then what you're gonna do when they come for you, it's too late at that point. It's too late at that point. When they're coming for
I
you because you thought you was just gonna hide your head in a hole somewhere, now they coming for your ass too, man. They want
some of the
everybody.
some of the rhetoric is just so toxic and against people like me and people like us that I'm like, nah, man, like flag on the play here, like 15-yard penalty, eat that 85 million L for unsportsmanlike, whatever, like just
Yeah.
I have to give a fuck because it's too much at stake, in my opinion. I understand why people are frustrated, and some of it is Trump fatigue. Like I get it, and disconnect if you have to. But like as far as voting, I hate to be that guy, but I give a fuck. I'm going out to vote, absolutely.
Yeah, and to like your
Yeah.
point, Tyrone, like I knew too many people who are like that. Like I had a guy tell me, "Oh, what? When Trump put that tax bill in play that is fucking over people now, as predicted." But they was like, "Oh, what? You don't like the extra $100 that's in your check? In your check?" Like, yeah, they just thought about, well, I'm doing my thing. I'm just gonna work, do my thing, take care of my family. That's it. Think about nobody else. Think about nothing else. And to me, that's a problem in a way because like I'm a person like I yeah, I'm gonna make sure mine is straight, but I care about community. I care about people around me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see other people struggle here and there. Like, like the whole migrant crisis right now, shit like that. Like, I don't mind, but there's a point, man. That's another conversation that I was actually rabbit holing into because there's some ebbs and flows in that conversation. But what it is that you can't just it's just about me. Yeah, I like this guy, so what? Fuck everybody else. And then, like T just said, it's gonna catch up to you because it's a bigger picture thing. It'll catch up to you.
Also, Dan, also it's like, so what are you gonna do when you need help? You've been head high. He's like, that's who I'm voting for. Fuck everybody else. Something happens to you. Now you're looking for help, but you fucked everybody when you was like, I'm good by myself. You should get it by yourself. Don't be out here with your hand out asking for help. Now you can't do that. You can't do that. You shitted on me and said we weren't shit, but now you're in a hole and now you're asking for help.
TJ, that's
You
that's
can't.
like that's like half his base in all of these red states where
Yeah.
welfare recipients are the most prevalent, yet they're siding with the side that wants to get rid of said things, but they'll still open their mouth and eat whatever shit that they feed them. Kind of like a WWE only fan, but I digress on that. But yeah, they'll just eat whatever they shit because ultimately they get reminded, at least we ain't them over there. It kind of always
Well,
falls back
what's
to that.
this? What was the saying? You give a white man a penny, and he still thinks he's better than a nigga with a nickel or some shit like that. Like you convince him that he's the shit, and he
Right.
thinks he's better than a nigga with a nickel. It was a saying like that or something like
So
that. But
you
you're
convince
right. They're just selling
you
dreams.
right, dude. You convince poor people that hey, we ain't them over there at minimum, but you still look like us. You ride with us. We're gonna do all of these wonderful things for people who look like us. But it's not really people who look like us. It's really people who look like us here. Nothing to do with, all the other shit. All the other shit is just like I always say, all the other shit just plays into people's bigotry. And I think we're done with that. Jamal said we've been subsidizing red states for generations as they take more from the government than they give, yet they scream everyone brown and down are living off handouts. It's clinical projection on a manic level. Couldn't be closed out better than that. What else we got, y'all? Ed, you give us something as the guest. What you got for us that you think we could or you could school Tyrone on?
I'm not schooling Tyrone. I did not come to school anybody. I came
It's
here as
just
a
jokes.
guest.
It's
I
just
just
jokes.
came here. No, because he gets his feelings hurt. That's part of being champion. I get it. You know, belts make you sensitive. I get it. You know, I absolutely. You know, I come
Say
here
his name
peace
and
and
he
love.
appears.
I don't know.
Ooh,
I
man.
you know, I came here, like I said, my name was kind of cold. You know, I'm getting ready for Mania weekend coming up soon, so I'm going out to that. But watching some hoops here and there, you know,
Well,
mostly
you
been.
could kick it. Y'all two could kick it in person in Mania
So
weekend, because he's gonna be there.
so Ed,
Yes.
how do you feel about this 65 game limit in the NBA for all the awards and stuff like that?
So I'm very pro load management. I've always been, you know, of like sometimes I'd rather that my players be ready for the playoffs than the regular season. So I'm not the biggest, like, you know, anti. I know people are like, oh, I paid my
So
ticket to see X, Y, and Z. So I kind of hate the
right.
rule. I think, I don't know, the way it's playing out with Embiid pushing himself, trying to stay healthy in a fast way while still playing. Like, you know, I think Halliburton, I think, has been having an issue. I understand the intention of it, and I understand it's a way of trying to make it more fan friendly, to make it more likely that when you pay, you know, the Golden State Warriors only come to New York twice. They play at the Barclays once and MSG once, and so you're only going to get that opportunity. And if Curry decides not to play, and that's who you want to watch, then, you know, I understand that was the intent. But in practice, they're either going to need to tweak it, or they're going to need to maybe like minimize it more. I don't know.
So
It needs to be cleaned up.
so yeah, and you end up paying an extra like $100 for that ticket because they know he's only coming out here once. So you get that. So you don't get to see your favorite player, and then you get to see the shit product that's the All-Star game. So you don't see your favorite player going up against your team one, and now you don't see your favorite player going up against the best in the league. So you're not you just losing twice at that point.
I hate being pro owner, but, you know, in the back, first of all, you're paying for the Lakers. You're not paying for LeBron James. That's number one. You're being advertised and guaranteed that you're going to see 5 jerseys that say the Lakers. You're not guaranteed LeBron James. You know, second of all,
Fair.
you see this in pro wrestling, and you see this in combat sports. The back of the ticket, when it used to be paper tickets, but it now says in the fine print, card subject to change. Things happen sometimes where, you know, when you buy a ticket, it's almost like a legal contract that these are your expectations. This is how you're supposed to behave. This is what could get you ejected.
Right.
And so, but they're not guaranteeing you LeBron James. And so, you know, it happened. I think it was the Celtics game. Celtic fans got mad because LeBron James sat out for the Celtics game, and Celtics Lakers, big rivalry. But he wanted to go hard for the back-to-back at MSG. He wanted to put up a show out at MSG. Sucks for the Celtics fan, but, you know, in the back of it, it says card subject to change. And so it sucks for the fan, but that's part of the gamble of paying tickets. And it sucks if you bought it in the secondary market where it fluctuates based on demand. Like, you know, a ticket to go see Curry and LeBron's, it sucks. But sorry, that's capitalism. Like, I wish there were a better system. I just paid for Ring of Honor. I'm going to go see Ring of Honor in Philadelphia. And it's $60 tickets. And I was happy there were $60 tickets. And after fees, it came up to $110. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
You know, and so I understand the fan frustration.
Funny you didn't say the Mania ticket price. You didn't say the Mania ticket prices.
That's a whole other.
So also, so Ed, hold on before you go. Let's hold on. So
I was just talking. I think you got triggered by my shit talk.
but what amount of games should suffice for a player winning an award? Because if you're missing more than a quarter of the season, then you should be disqualified because that doesn't make any sense.
It's
It's not fair for the guys who are playing just as hard and they're playing more games.
I'm not a sabermetrics guy, but what if you had such an off the hook, just quarter season, your knee gives out, you're still not eligible to win the MVP? Like, again, that's on the voters to decide that sample set was so off the hook, compared to the bigger sample set.
There's no way you can, because if you are an MVP caliber player and your team loses you for 3/4 of the season, they're not going to be as good. They're not going to be good enough to make you be in the MVP.
I mean, I don't disagree with that.
So
but I'm just saying
you'll never win MVP if you don't play 3/4 of the season.
I'm not disagreeing. And so if you're automatically going to already disqualify that person on, why even make that a rule then? Like it's just taking money. It's taking money out of the pockets of the players because some of them have incentives to win MVPs or to go to All-Star games or like the all in, getting what they call the Supermax contracts. There's all these parameters that they got to meet. And
here's my problem that I really have with it. I like the rule because my problem is this. You have a guy on a good team that is playing his best, that can afford to do load management. You had Tim Duncan on the Spurs who can afford to do load management, which means that he can afford to take some games off, blah, blah, blah. Then you have a guy like Kobe who was trying his best to get his team in the playoffs, where every single game for him mattered, where he had to play. In order for his team to win, he had to play. He didn't have load management options because any game that he didn't play, they had the potential to lose, and any game they lose had the potential to ruin their career. So that, to me, makes it unfair that just because the guy is on a better team, he can say, oh, I'm on a good team, I'm going to the playoffs no matter what, so I'm going to just take fucking games off, whereas
who said life was supposed to be fair? That's on your ownership, not building a team around you. It goes back to that Worthy thing. You build teams around your stars.
Life is not fair, but I don't. That's how I feel about it. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like players going through that, and other players just being able to be like, "Oh, I can chill. I ain't gotta worry about it." You know what I mean?
It's team game. Fuck that. But I actually like the rule because it tells you got to show up and play, and for why I like it. In a way, because maybe it could actually, in some sort of a way, bring value back to MVP. Because MVP just became the award for the best player on the best team. That's it. That's all this award became. Where, yes, it means most valuable player, but you got to be the most valuable player to your team. You have to. So if we mentioned Joel Embiid, he was ineligible due to his last injury because his last injury was just like if he misses just like 2 or 3 games or whatever, and he missed more than that. But if he missed only like a small handful of games, he was ineligible because of the injuries going to keep him out more than the 60 plus games required, 65 games required. So if you now got to show up, you're going to show how important you are to your team in succeeding. That's what I mean by bring it back to the most valuable player for a team. Not that I would give an MVP to
regardless of record.
It's tough because
that's
I was going to say, yeah, no, I know it's tough. It's tough. But the hard part is how do you show well, no, this is how I can say it because this is what I was trying to get out. If you're a team that was a 9th or an 11th because they open it up to the play-in shit, right? You was 11th last year. You had a real shit record, but you were the catalyst for the change to become a 2 seed. You understand? That's where I think so the next season, you know what I'm saying? The next season, you become that number 1 option on your team. That is the reason why this team pushed to become a 2 seed. Like I think that's more MVP than just being the best player on the best team. That's what I mean.
Here's my thing, Ed. Let me ask you, right? So, 65 games, right? And a man is not injured at all. Let's say you got your star player. He's not injured at all during the season, right? And he's only got to play 65 games. Why is that a problem? If he's not injured, play the 65 games. That gives you games for load management if you want to take them. And you're not injured, so you can play in those 65 games. So what's the problem?
I don't think anyone's arguing about the healthy players playing that amount of games. It's about pushing the injured players that may be trying too hard to get past an injury, and now they're trying too hard. Like Embiid, and I think Embiid is a good example of that. He was maybe trying to rush it instead of take his time, as opposed. And so, to me, it just the rule itself is performative to make the fans happy. It's fan service in a lot of ways, and that's fine. I understand that's where the league is coming from, but it's not about the healthy players. The healthy players are always going to play at least 65, at least. You know what I mean? They'll take their breaks here and there, but the issue isn't the players that are healthy. The issue is the players that are injury prone and now have to push it because of X, Y, and Z for economic purposes.
It's just to add on to what Ed said, because Joel Embiid is the example. He was, and TJ was saying it on the show several weeks, he was having a way beyond MVP caliber season. But because of now the game limit to be considered MVP, maybe he was pushing for that to try to get back sooner, to get the required amount of games in, and then further extends injury. I think that's the point that Ed's making. But you stated that what if you are 65 games and then you take a break? Like, to me, on that aspect,
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, when Tyrone said that, because I get what he's saying. It almost kind of looks
get your 60 away and then chill for the rest of the season.
Right,
if your team is doing well.
Right. That's kind of the vibe in what the statement he was trying to make. But then I'm gonna now look at that and weigh that against you in voting. Okay, you only played 65 games. I'm gonna look at the person who might have closer numbers, who made 70, 80 games.
There's also rules against juking the injury list too. Like, you gotta, you can't be like, I sprained my toenail. Like, so if you're gonna game the system, you're gonna have to be creative, and that's not to say that it's not possible. It absolutely is possible if you put, your effort into it. But it's just, again, I get why they did it, and I know the fans like the rule. But even if you do miss more like than X amount of games, you're not even going to be considered for the MVP anyway. So it's just another way to take money out of their pocket.
But like you said, Ed, there's a lot of clauses. Go ahead.
No, I was just wanted to get to Brian's comment before y'all go on. But you ain't playing, you ain't MVP. But you're more focused on being ready for the playoffs. More power to you, but don't be mad if you don't meet the requirements to win MVP.
Here's what I'm saying as far as that is concerned, right? So if you're an MVP caliber NBA player and you're worried about you're going to push yourself to come back from injury because you're worried about money, you're worried about your contract incentives. So you're an NBA caliber player, you're making good money already, and your next contract is going to be good enough. Like, so you're telling me that the MVP is going to come back from injury, push himself, risk the whole entire season in his team with an injury just so that he can get some incentive money?
Some people don't like
that's dumb on his part.
Some people hold on.
Real.
Some people don't like leaving money on the table. No, whoa. Some people don't like leaving money on the table. That's that incentive clause is there for a reason. And I yes, absolutely. And that's the business decision to be made. And so that's you. And that's great that you play for the love of the game, but there's a reason you're not at that level. You can love the game all you want.
It doesn't matter. You talking about us? I don't care about that man wanting to make more money. I already think they already make too much fucking money. And here's the other thing too, like.
But your feelings are irrelevant to him because he's got to make that money regardless.
The NBA does not have to be concerned about that man's contract or his money.
Of course
They have
not.
to
They're
be
trying to
concerned
take
with
money from him.
Okay, so they have to be concerned with the fans, and as them being concerned with the fans, this is what they gotta do. This is the business side of the situation. Then fuck him. If he can't stay healthy on that court to make his money, then he don't get his incentive. That's on him. But you're also saying this, so he's going to be playing and risking injury and doing all this. So he's putting the detriment of his own team for his own personal gain. So
Happens all the time. Happens all the time. Happens all the time in professional sports. You see it all the time in football.
And you see the opposite. You see the opposite in football, where a coach will pull a player because if they get X amount of carries, if you're a running back, or you get X amount of yards, they're gonna hit the bonuses, and like we can't have that happen. So you see it both ways.
No, if it's game 16 and he needs a certain amount of yards on game 16, that
look
that
at
shit
Russell Wilson.
expires.
Look at
he
the
don't care
example
if
of
he
Russell
breaks
Wilson.
any kind of record on game 17.
Look at Russell Wilson. He got benched for a contractual reason, not for playing purposes. They were on a roll, and he got sat for a contractual reason. And it happens the other way around, where sometimes a player will push. It's like, well, I got to make my yards, or I got to get my rebounds, or I got to get my MVP. It happens. That's sports. It's a business. That's not a problem. If you go into a problem, that's business. That's capitalism. That's business.
If you go into a business and you bet on yourself like that with your contract and you lose that bet, that's your problem. You bet on yourself. You let that contract.
He didn't lose the bet. He didn't lose the bet. If the coach took it away from you before you could, if the coach took it away from, if the coach took it away from you before you had a chance to achieve it, that's not on him.
If you got 16 games to reach your incentives, and you know for a fact that if you get to game 16 without reaching your incentives, that the coach is going to fuck you, you can't get to game 16. That's on you. You have to make sure you don't.
He's going. No, it's not on you.
You're not getting that bonus.
It could be game 10. He could be reaching that incentive.
It could be.
Or game 12.
He could be close. It could be. He can reach his incentives and pull him at any point. It's not just game 16. And that's what happened to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was getting pulled halfway through the season.
Yeah, but the
halfway through the season,
the Denver Broncos wasn't going nowhere. If Russell Wilson was
playing on a winning streak.
If Russell Wilson was playing if that was Patrick Mahomes, he would have got the incentives because they wouldn't have pulled him out because the Chiefs had a chance at winning the Super Bowl, which is more important than them paying those incentives out. Russell Wilson got pulled because he was on a bum ass team that wasn't
winning the Super Bowl helps pay those incentives. Winning the Super Bowl helps pay for all his contracts.
So Russell Wilson's situation is cool because he knew he was going to get cheated. He knew he wasn't getting those incentives. He bet on himself, and he put himself in a position where they could cheat him. If that was Patrick Mahomes, they wouldn't be able to do that.
They took the choice away from him, and that's kind of the thing.
And you already know they're going to do that. You already know they're going to do that.
All the more reason why a player will push himself to try to get their
all the more reason why you don't go in
all the more reason why as a player you push yourself past injury to get your incentives. Because if you think they're going to try to screw you, then you got to push past that injury, and then you end up hurt. So either way,
what contract do you sign, Tyrone?
So either way, by your standard, the player is screwed. If he sits to protect himself, well, he's an asshole for not taking the money. And if he tries to take the money, he's an asshole according to you. So which is it? Like,
he's sitting to protect himself? No, he's not an asshole if he's sitting to protect himself.
No.
But he's not an asshole if he's sitting to protect himself. Okay? I'm saying that if you got the 65 game rule, then you got games and times where you can sit to protect yourself. But if you're saying that a motherfucker gonna come back from injury, I think that's an asshole move. You're jeopardizing your teammates, you're jeopardizing everything for money that I feel like you can still get. Or that you bet on yourself.
What type of contract can you use to benefit yourself if the coach or management is pulling you before you hit your incentive? What kind of contract can you sign?
No, listen.
What kind of contract can you sign to benefit yourself if they take you out the game?
It's not. You're not saying. You're not answering the question because I'm seeing it. It's circling again.
I'm answering the question.
Go ahead.
You can bet on yourself and take that contract, but you have to know that your livelihood is based on the number that you're going to get. Your incentive is on top of that. So if you don't get those incentives, then you just don't get them. But if the team is going to cheat you, if you know that you got 16 games to get those incentives, and you know that team is going to cheat you, you putting yourself in a bad spot. Yeah, you take it because if you're Patrick Mahomes, they can't cheat you. But if you're Russell Wilson, they can.
Now pause, because you in some ways it's like, in a way you're saying try to go get that money before getting injured without getting injured, but if you get injured, oh well, you know they're gonna cheat you. I'm trying.
No,
it's almost like make it make sense. This is another
not
one.
If you get injured, injury has nothing to do with it. If you got incentives, if you have incentives and you are not injured, and you know that the team can pull you or take you out of there, that's the risk you take when you sign that contract.
No, but you just said if you got injured and you came back early, you're jeopardizing the team's chances because you're trying to get an incentive in your contract.
You are.
That's what you said.
That's true. That's true too.
But Dan is saying,
what I'm saying is you're jeopardizing. This is the point that Ed has been trying to make. You're jeopardizing yourself to hit incentives, but that you're saying you're jeopardizing the team. Which again, it's a double edge. We're banging heads here. Like there's two bads that could possibly happen.
Your goal.
There's two bads that could possibly happen.
Your goal.
But can I add to that too? And in Embiid's case, as we're seeing right now, the team actually does need him. He actually is their MVP because they are not the same team without him.
Right.
He is their MVP. So he's pushing himself for multiple reasons. So it's not endangering the team. He's pushing himself for the good of the team.
And the whole incentive in the contract thing was just like an added icing on the conversation. Like that wasn't the main focus. But like we were saying before, is if you put that in your contract, I want everything that can be entitled to me. Yeah. And with the thought, and that's all that's been trying to be said, is that because I want everything that's entitled to me, those incentives included, that's on the contract. I want that. Yeah, I want that. But do I put myself at risk to, yes, try to better the team, do better for the team, but I want my money? Or, damn it, I'm doing fucking amazing and they take the money away from me. It's like, whose side is it? Are you with the player? Or are you with the ownership of?
The team is involved too, because if you are not at 100% and you push yourself, and then that pushing yourself, Kevin Durant did it. Caused the Golden State Warriors to finals. Kevin Durant caused the Golden State Warriors to finals because he wasn't ready to come back from injury. He came back and tried to play, fucked his leg up worse, and then was not available for the NBA Finals, and they lost. Whereas if he would have just waited, chilled out, and not pushed himself to come back early, he might, you know what I mean? They literally said that the reason why his leg got fucked up was because he came back too early. So he literally fucked up the Golden State Warriors championship.
But that's the balance of the team. Sometimes you're right about that. No, you can't dispute that. Sometimes you got to balance protecting the player from himself. There's certain players that no matter what, you know what I mean? So there, he does have a point to that, but that's the balance that the organization has to figure out in their investment.
But the difference in said conversation is, because I'm in total agreement with y'all on that. I'm in total agreement. You're supposed to know when to say when. But when that money is involved and said athlete is good enough to play, that's where the issues come into play. So the whole 65 game thing with the NBA and making MVP, I don't think an organization is going to stop a person from becoming an MVP at all. But then if you can't make MVP, you got other money you want to go get out of your contract, then that's where the game comes. That's where that game that balancing act that we've been trying to discuss comes in. It's, do we allow him to get it? Damn it, he's playing healthy. Okay, we're a 3 or 4 seed in the playoffs. He's taking us to make this extra money. All right, fuck it. Or, damn it, we're close to making it in, i.e. the Russell Wilson argument that was made before. They were on a hot streak that could have had them in contention to be in the playoffs. And they said, nope, give me that. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where we've been arguing.
They knew they wasn't gonna win. That's why
But that's easy. That's something just easy to say to assume they know they ain't gonna win.
they knew.
You're if you're on a hot streak to get into the playoffs, TJ and Ed's Giants know this all too well. You get hot at the end of the season, going to the playoffs 9-7, and then just remain hot through the playoffs. My point is anybody has a chance. Not so just you don't really just think, I know you ain't gonna win. You know you ain't gonna get nothing when you're fucking 5-11.
You really think that the Denver Broncos pull Russell Wilson just so they sacrifice the possibility of winning the Super Bowl just to not pay that man his incentive money?
They didn't have a shot at Super Bowl, but they were.
That's why they told them that they did not.
No. Whoa. They were on a winning streak.
No.
Just because they were on a winning streak, if I remember correctly, or they were like 4 out of the last 5 type of stuff that they were winning. But if they were winning the Super Bowl, that man's not getting pulled. That was an organization that quit on itself and pulled him for contractual reasons so as to not pay that man. And they kind of openly said it, and that's right. Like, I don't think it's been disputed that I know of. And so, that sometimes pushes a player to be like, well, I can't leave that money on the table. What could be curtain money to him still is also money that he can squirrel away for his health care down the road when his knees are shot, if he's in the NBA, or the CTE kicks in if he's in the NFL. Like, you still... we look at it as making this tons of money. Well, healthcare is expensive in this country, and the players that do save, they gotta understand that, like, it's not just for Lamborghinis and houses, plural. It's also from your knee and hip replacements or potential mental health care for your CTE. Like
Brian says, just
there's no benefit program for the NFL.
Brian says, by the way, Russ got screwed, but he gave them a chance to make the playoffs. So it's like, it's not hanging on. We know they probably would not have done good in the playoffs, but the whole fact was just for the making a point reasons was he was giving them a chance because they were on a hot streak that could have possibly had them in the playoffs. That's all.
And how much money does an NFL team make once they make even if it's the first round of the playoffs?
And the NFL, and they know they're getting their incentives.
Yeah.
The NFL, you better make incentives because that's not guaranteed money.
No. So and if the team even makes the first round of the playoffs, that's bonus cash at that point. Right. With T-shirts and additional sales and playing an extra game at premium prices. Like, this is not the regular season no more. Everybody's paying. You can charge whatever you want now.
I just want to know, like, you're carrying around this belt, and you carry it like a champion, and yet this defeatist attitude that you come in with, I'm rather disappointed. We're gonna lose. Like, first round knockout, like.
That's what they
like I don't get that. I came here for the swag. I came here for, like, I thought you were coming out here like The Rock, looking more like Pebbles from, like, the Flintstones. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like that defeatist attitude. But again, I come with love. Again, this is positivity. I want you to be carried like a champion.
You just closed out the show cutting the ill promo. That's what you did.
I feel like I won by disqualification.
That was hella funny.
I'll take that DQ. I will gladly take that dusty ending. I'll take that.
You won, but I got
call me Logan Paul. I brass knuckle.
You won by count out. You won by count out, which means I keep the championship.
That's right. Yeah, no doubt. Like I said, WBA.
I give you a count out win. Because the referee
He said he hit you with the dusty finish. That's crazy. Brian said I give the promo a C+.
But I came in with a winning attitude, though. Hence this disqualification. I was there for the defeatist belt. I'm sorry.
But when you said You set your tone when you said, "What's that in the middle of the belt?" The disrespect. That's
He
why
said it's
Tyrone gets to
hurting my
keep the
eyes.
championship. That's why
It's
Tyrone
hurting
gets to
my
keep the
eyes.
championship. Fuck that. You disrespect the. You know
It's
what
a
I
cool
did?
logo.
You know what I did for you, Tyrone? I did the Vince McMahon, and I pulled out the pencil and erased the finish and fixed the finish. Like, nope, he keeps his championship. How dare you disrespect my logo? But we
Nah,
done,
but he
Ed.
came out. He came out with the belt. You know, he showed some moxie. You know.
You know what to do, Ed. We're done.
I want to thank y'all for having me on the show. This was fun. Glad I got to kick it with y'all today. You know, a break from washing dishes. You know, got to go back to my husbandly duties. So I don't have a belt for that. You know, I just but thank you for having me on. I really, next time I will play Buju Banton for you, like, you know, because you walk like a champion and you talk like a champion. You just don't have the swagger of a champion. I get it, you know, defeatist. You know, you're one of those like baby face, you know, like come up, you know, champions. That like you're like a young lion meets junior heavyweight meets cruiserweight. I got
called you Tiffany Stratton.
Nah, no, that's disrespectful to Tiffy Time. Don't disrespect Tiffy Time like that.
TJ.
She's got a winner's attitude.
Damn.
Sorry, I apologize. Sorry.
Damn. Yo, this was another dope show. Ed, thank you for coming out after being called out, sir. Salute to you. You did a hell of a job. Shout out to all the people in the comments today. That was dope. Good banter. I love the back and forth. You know, Lisper out here. Next week, I'm just gonna become as It's Hurting My Eyes. That's gonna be my name next week. All in all, it was a dope show, and I got nothing else. That was crazy.
I like when people stand on business. That's been my motto for 2024. So he showed up. He showed up. He ain't show out though. Don't tell y'all sitting there acting like my man showed out. He had one good job. Y'all acting like he won the belt.
I got my one. I just wanted to get. I just wanted to get my one spot in. I wanted to get my one moonsault. Like, that's it. Maybe the miss in the face, but like
that was that phantom jab. That was that phantom jab. He caught you with and backed you up.
Actually, that logo was the miss to my eyes because my eyes are still never mind. Sorry, I'm still
walking home. I'm still walking home with the title, and I welcome a rematch anytime, any place. I welcome a rematch. You know what I'm saying? And and that's it. That's all I gotta say.
And he still got it because I didn't hit him with the finger poke of doom just yet. But y'all know what to do. As my finger poke is not to doom, it's to Hooks Rub, 20% off your order.
Phrasing.
Use
Sorry.
the code STARTING5. This was fun. I'm gonna tell y'all something.
What?
Sucking a Chinese meal. I will tell y'all something post show. We done. Peace.